Okay, hey, I'm back from vacation. Sorry for the delay in posting. I didn't have a great setup there. I did post some things on Instagram. I had a Prometheus hatching up there. Had a bunch of them with me. I had all my caterpillars, of course, which are now getting pretty big. I am doing this container right now. This is my second clean out since I've been home. I did the first one the day I got home because I had them all in one container. And you can see they're getting pretty big now. Here should all look like this, more or less. They're about, I don't know, a couple inches long. Looking pretty cool. Getting close to the end here. That one's flickering. He doesn't like when you give him a hard time. He's moody. Anyway, so I'm gonna start putting these in here. This is a time when you can decide for yourself if you want to start putting your caterpillars in the big mesh cages. They do fine in there. I usually wait until the very end. Reason being, the leaves dry out super fast in there. But again, if you only have, a dozen or so, no big deal, because you just change them every day. But if we're doing black walnut, like we're doing, most of us are doing black walnut or sumac, which both the leaves, if they're out in the air, even if you put them in water, which I do, I will take a container like this one here. It's an old, obviously you can see it's a Greek yogurt container. I banged some holes in it. I put some leaves in it, put these in here like this, and then I kind of jam paper towel around it just to make sure that nothing else can climb in there, because the caterpillars will climb in there and they will die. So that's just something to be aware of. If you want to, switch to the cages like these over here, I've got lots of these things. I use them for hatching, and there's some of my bins down there. But yeah, we got a lot of them in here, and they work great. Obviously they zip open, like that one's zipped open now. I do have some, and when I say some, I mean I have like 1,200 caterpillars here. I only have about 30 in that zip, and the reason is because they're very big. I just didn't want them in the containers anymore. They eat a lot, and we're getting to a point where they might start spinning silk, so they might cocoon shortly, probably in the next couple weeks. So just be aware that might start happening. They might start getting weird. If you are doing any research online, you'll see that they'll eat a lot, then they'll stop eating and they'll kind of roam. They'll start to wander around the cage. If you have them in there, a lot of times they'll go right up to the top, and they usually wrap in leaves, and then they spin silk with leaves as camouflage. But sometimes they'll go right up to the top of a mesh cage and they'll stick themselves right to the top there. So that's just something to be aware of. But yeah, so I'm just doing a regular clean out like we've been doing for the past few months. I hope everyone's doing good. I've been trying to get back to emails. Like I said, I was on the beach. We were collecting lots of shells, which was fun, lots of shells. And I was, obviously taking care of mine, but I didn't really have a great setup for filming there. I tried to even film some of the hatching that was going on, and the quality was horrible because the lighting was awful. But anyway, yeah, so let's see. So yeah, so if you're gonna put them in, if you're gonna switch to mesh cages, I recommend getting the 36-inch. I think they're 36 tall, 24 square. Those ones work great for me. You could put big branches in there as they get bigger. You can put a lot of caterpillars in one of those, and if you just put branches in there. And as the branches get bigger, say if I'm putting like 50 or so in those mesh cages, I'll get the large, I think they're 32-ounce mason jars, and just put a bunch of branches in there. Again, you have to I stuff usually saran wrap and paper towels in the cracks so that no caterpillars can climb down there. That's a big one because I didn't know that at first, and I had like 10 cecropias just crawl down there, and they were floating around in the water, which is kind of awful. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through this. There's lots in this bin. I have had not that many casualties. I had a lot of you guys asking about loss. Some of yours were just kind of turning into brown mush. This is like a little, this is like a little train of caterpillars here. They do that sometimes. A lot of times it's due to the humidity. They get too wet in there. Sometimes we just have loss. So like I told all the people, try to give you guys a pep talk. Don't get too upset about it. They're doing much better here in your captivity than they would ever do. It's a nice big one. Than they would ever do out in the wild. You know, it's this. I don't know exactly what it is, but it depends on where you live in the country. But it's like 1 in 1,000 will become moths. Some places it's much less. You know, if a bird gets in a tree that's full of caterpillars, it will just eat them all. So, you're still doing great if you get even a few to go to Cocoon. So yeah, if you have any questions, email me. If you are going to be interested in breeding these, I can do a video on how to cheat. So you can try to, when that time comes, you can try to capture a male or female Luna in your area in the wild. Sheeting is very easy. I think it's pretty fun. You basically hang a sheet in a bulb outside in a field near a wooded area, and you try to catch a local specimen of the species that you're trying to breed. So, okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye. All right, first one. This is what they're going to look like. They wrap the leaves around the silk, try to camouflage them. I usually just take these out. I'll snip all these extra pieces off, kind of put these somewhere safe in a bin because mice love these things. So just be careful.